Let's start off with the NSE 20 share index yesterday finally going up again, 4,121 after about 4 days of losses.
Yeah. I mean, that was really on the back of marginal gains on the constituent stocks. But of course, notably among them being Safaricom as the biggest mover yesterday. We saw very big volumes traded on Safaricom. We could see the same today, pretty much with position taking. And the 2% rise in Safaricom's price contributed greatly to the index.
Because Safaricom is reporting today, and everybody expects them to report fairly good results because tariffs have gone up, and that means the voice revenues will pick up fairly significantly.
Yes. Definitely. I mean, there's the two main factors are, yes, as you mentioned, the tariff change that they implemented late last year, and also the fact that the MTR has not been cut. So there's going to be a double benefit for them on that respect. Of course, as always, M-Pesa is one of their biggest growth fronts at the moment. We may not see too much on data and SMS, but we're looking forward to seeing a lot on the voice and M-Pesa. But
the real risk there is that the MTR you talk about, if the mobile termination rate, that interconnect fees that operators charge each other, if it comes down as significantly as it is expected to, up to 1 shilling and 60 cents from 221 now, that might give them a bit of a poor picture.
It'll be a very big hit, but I think it would affect the whole industry negatively. As we've seen with all the price wars going on, there's not been a very big shift in mobile users changing from Safaricom to other users, simply because some sticky factors such as M-Pesa are keeping them in Safaricom. However, Safaricom, as the biggest taxpayer, their profitability really contributes to the tax revenue income for the country. So it may not be in the country's best interest to actually drop that rate any further.
But that said, I mean, nobody else in this telecommunication industry makes money. They're all loss-making, Airtel, Orange, and you. So it's Safaricom that everybody pays attention to.
It's true. That's true. And actually, the industry is loss-making, and the government needs, and the CCK needs to find a way to reverse that, because that's the only way that we will see further investment in that sector and long-term growth, long-term stability. We cannot end up having just one player simply because all of these others have been driven out.
So it's a bit, to some extent, it's an inefficient system.
Yes, unfortunately.
Talk to me about this NSE listing on the NSE, and specifically the fact that the brokers, 22 of them, or should I say of you, have agreed on 95% stake and 5% to Treasury. Does that come off as unusual?
Not unusual. I mean, naturally, the brokers do own the NSE, so they should take the lion's share. The challenge has been in how much should the government get. Government's presence is very important on the NSE, because they would definitely need board representation in order for there to be enough investor confidence. However, the percentage is questionable. Initially, the brokerage fraternity had offered Treasury about 12%, which would have seen the brokers go with 4% each. However, after yesterday, the statement that came out is that now the offer to government is only 5%.
Because it looked that it made sense. Treasury was supposed to share this 20% stake with the investor compensation fund. And for me as an investor, I would like that, because there seems to be some degree of oversight. So I'm not being taken for a ride in case that happens.
That's true, but I believe we still need to wait and see what Treasury will say in return, because I doubt they'll be very comfortable with that. The CMA has come out very clearly saying that they believe the government should have had a bigger stake in the NSE, so it waits to be seen whether that is going to be final.
Let's talk about diaspora remittances. We thought there's a global economic downturn, but our remittances just keep going up. 36% for the 9 months of the first 9 months of the year to about 74 billion shillings. So where are all these Kenyans abroad getting this money?
I mean, last month, I think it came to 90 actually, last month. We've seen the last 3 month average stay above $90 million per month. Very impressive, and significantly higher from last year. I believe it's not necessarily about them making more money out there. There could be a slowdown, but naturally, if there is a slowdown and you're not home, then you need to start building a cushion for yourself. So you as an individual out there would want to increase your investments in the event that you were to be affected by the slowdown there and needed to return home. You definitely need to have built up a good cushion at home. So we've seen a good increase in remittances, and I think that's really positive because it's also helping with the stability of our exchange.
And the exchange rate as well was heading through a roundabout way with the CBR's 200 basis points rate cut yesterday.
Yeah.
Were you expecting that?
Yes, that is exactly what
Nothing
we
more
expected.
dramatic?
Nothing more. Some analysts believe that there was room for a little more,
Yes.
Which is true, but you remember that with the arrangement with the IMF was such that CBK would not take action until January.
Yes.
But CBK has come out on their statement yesterday and said that clearly they are seeing that monetary policy has been effective.
Yes.
So it only makes sense for them to drop
gradually
that rate.
ease it, as they said.
Correct. And that's definitely going to have good and far-reaching implications on the whole economy. And the first thing of which we will see would be increased access to credit, cheaper loans, because loans have been very expensive.
But that will not happen anytime soon, right? Because banks tend to drag their feet before they lower their interest rates.
It's a competitive environment. We may see some surprises very soon.